Hello lovely people, welcome once again to Akuse's blog. If you are new here, kindly subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit the notification bell when you're done. Today we are going to fry meat pie, and meat pie is a very delicious snack in Ghana and is loved by all. Now let's begin by prepping our beef and onions. We will go ahead and chop our onions into smaller sizes and set it aside. We will then chop our beef into smaller sizes as well. You can chop it into bigger size, but then I am using my blender to blend it, so I have to chop it into smaller sizes. Make sure to wash it well about 3 times to remove all the blood from it, and then add in your chopped onions. Cover it and then blend smoothly. Do not add water to it, so make sure your blender is a powerful one. Other than that, you can use your food processor. When you're done, pour oil into your frying pan and then add some of the chopped onions into it. Stir for at least a minute before adding in your pepper. This is optional though, so if you don't like pepper, you can just omit this one from your food. Stir gently for a minute or 2 before adding in your seasoning powder. I am adding white pepper because I don't want the meaty smell after cooking my meat, and then I will add my stock cube as well. I added just a little to it. I will go ahead and add the blended or the processed meat into the mixture and then stir it continuously for about 2 to 3 minutes. Do not add any water at this stage, as we would want the juice from the meat to cook itself. Add your salt to taste and then cover it to allow it to cook for 10 to 15 minutes. Be checking on it once in a while and then stir it so that it doesn't burn. After 15 minutes, our beef is cooked. There aren't any oil or water left, so I will mix a tablespoonful of flour with water and then pour the mixture into our beef to thicken it. You can use cornstarch too. Continue stirring till it's well mixed, and then you cover it to allow it to cook for an extra 5 minutes to thicken it. If you want a lighter one, you can add in just a little water to it to unthicken it. Allow it to cool after the 5 minutes before adding in your chopped onions and set it aside. We cannot use this mixture whilst it's hot, so we will set it aside to cool completely whilst preparing our dough. So I'll pour my flour into a working bowl and then add my baking powder. I would also add a pinch of salt and then add in my onion powder. You can grate or blend fresh onion and put it inside. Stir gently till it's well mixed before adding in your batter. Adding onion to the crust gives it another aroma that smells so good. But then, if you are using salted butter, make sure to reduce your salt, as we do not want an oversalted crust. Continue mixing the butter with the dry ingredients till it's well mixed. In Twi, we will say posano, kosise beye fushiri fushiri. When you're done, create a small hole inside and then pour your water little at a time. Remember, we are using cold water to mix it. Mix this till we get the consistency we are looking for. This will take about 5 minutes to get the consistency we're going for today. Look at it, beautifully made. I will then go ahead and divide it into two and wrap it up with our cling film to allow the ingredients to distribute fairly into it. I will let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes. You can put it in the refrigerator if you want. Set it aside when you're done. After 15 minutes, I would unwrap it and add flour onto our working surface and begin rolling it. Note that the thinner your crust, the crunchier it is. So today we are going to prepare both the crunchy meat pie and then the soft meat pie. So this is the consistency we're going for the crunchy meat pie. When you are done rolling, use any round object that you can find in your kitchen to cut it into the sizes that you'd prefer. You then take the excess out and roll it later to cut it into the same rounder shape. I would go ahead and roll the second dough into the consistency we'll be using for our smooth meat pie. And this is the consistency we'll be using for that. Go ahead and cut it into your desirable sizes and then take the excess out of it again. Now let's start by filling our crust with our beef. I will take about a tablespoonful and then put it inside my pie crust. Remember, this is homemade, so you can either use plenty or less. You then brush the edges with water to serve as a binding agent to your crust. Now we'll go ahead and cover our filling. So I will dip my fork in oil. You can also dip it in flour so that it doesn't stick. But then I want a crunchier edge. So I will just use my fork to stretch the edges of the crust to make it more crunchy when I fry it. Secondly, you can also use your hand or your fingers to also press the edges of the crust to give you the meat pie shape. When you're done, pour oil into your frying pan. We would want to use a deeper bowl for this one. So if you don't have a wok, you can use your normal saucepan and then fill it up with enough oil to deep fry your meat pie. Drop your meat pie into medium heat oil to avoid the meat pie from soaking the oil. Turn it when one side is brown to allow the other side to also cook. Be stirring it to make sure that the heat is even to avoid burning. Take it out of the fire when it's cooked and then start by filling the other crust. Cover your filling and this time round use your finger or a fork to create the meat pie design. Now we are not stretching the edges of the meat pie because we do not want crunchier crust. So we will just do it just a little above the meaty side or where the meat is. Drop this into your oil gently to allow it to also cook. Remember to be turning it for the other side that is not cooked to also cook beautifully. And don't forget to use medium heat for your frying so that the pie doesn't soak oil. Take it out of the fire when you're done. You can eat this one with an ice cream or any drink of your choice too. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more recipes. Bye bye.